An elite team of soccer stars kicking off a new fight for equality. 28 members of the U.S. women's national soccer team filing a gender discrimination lawsuit against the U.S. Soccer Federation. The suit argues the federation has a policy and practice of discriminating against players on the women's squad. It goes on to allege unequal pay and working conditions compared to the men's team, even though their performance has been superior to that of male players. While the U.S. men have never won a World Cup, the women's team has notched 3 cups and 4 Olympic gold medals. That sustained success and popularity, according to the suit, has led to more matches, training camps, travel, and media sessions for the women's team. The filing, brought on International Women's Day, comes 3 months before the U.S. women try to defend their World Cup crown. Back in 2016, a wage discrimination complaint was filed by 5 U.S. players with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, catapulting stars like Hope Solo, Alex Morgan, and Rapinoe into the spotlight as champions for equal pay. In a statement overnight, U.S. Soccer writing in part, they have faithfully and consistently worked with the team, helping them perform at the highest levels possible, adding our continued support and efforts toward enriching the women's game is every bit as certain today as it will be in the future. Even after a collective bargaining agreement was reached a year later, little progress was made, and the players received permission to take legal action. Solo, the team's former goalkeeper, who is not a plaintiff in the new lawsuit, filed her own gender discrimination suit last year and says their cause will be stronger if the players stick together.
I mean, everybody says power in numbers, and now I think that we have the power to change the world.
Champions on the field, the women now have another goal in mind: getting their fair share.
We are joined now by 2 stars from the U.S. women's national team, Alex Morgan and Rapinoe. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Guys, make your best pitch, pun intended there. But imagine it's you standing up in court and telling the judge why it is that women's soccer should be paid equally to men's soccer. What would you say?
Well, why not would be the first question that I would ask, is why on earth wouldn't we pay people equally and treat people equally and, invest in people equally in general? That would be my first question. But I think the thing I would say is just, trying to, I guess, think of how the federation is thinking or think of how the judge, I feel there's so much left on the table with this team. I think that we've had incredible success. We've been able to push the sport forward in so many ways, both on and off the field, just from a soccer perspective, but commercially as well. And so why not take that next step, invest in the team equally from top to bottom, whether that's the youth programs, branding, marketing, promotion of the team, all of it. And then let's talk about it then, because I really feel that the potential of this team is massively untapped, and there's just so much left out there for us.
Let's break it down to dollars and cents, okay? According to our numbers, what we have, the guys get paid around $262,000 a year, and the women get paid $99,000 a year. Often the argument is, well, you know what? Guys fill the stands, guys bring in more money, so therefore guys get more. But what's the other argument there?
I think you have to look at the investment of that U.S. Soccer has on the sport. And we really are heartened by the gains that we have made throughout our collective bargaining agreement 2 years ago and throughout U.S. Soccer, really investing in women's soccer. But I feel like it could get a lot better. And when we look at the investment U.S. Soccer should make, we look at from the ground up. We look at from the academies and the youth levels. We look at the promotions of games and how I feel like we are less promoted than the men's side. And so, like Pino said, we feel like we should be equal on all fronts there. And when it goes to compensation, yeah, we aren't paid a dollar to the dollar, and that's what we're fighting for. And 2 years ago, that was our ultimate goal within that collective bargaining agreement. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet that, and we felt like we got the best deal that we could have in that moment without taking a moment off of the soccer field or striking. And that is also a very important thing for us, is to stay on the soccer field, continue to do what we love to do and what our passion has always been, and represent our country in the World Cup.
If you talk to the folks from U.S. Soccer, they would point out that in that collective bargaining agreement, as I understand it from them, the women's soccer team have a guaranteed contract. In other words, whether you play or not, whether you're injured or not, you get that money that is in your contract. Whereas the men, if they don't play, they don't get the money. Now, if you were to get equal pay, would you be willing to give up that guaranteed contract and really be on equal footing with the men?
I think it's okay that the compensation structures are a little bit different. I think our realities are a little bit different. Their MLS season goes the majority of the year. Our NWSL season only goes in the summer. So we're not saying that every single structure has to be the same, but I think from a broad sense, the equity in the contracts have to be the same and what we're able to earn.
You'd be willing to make some concessions on dollar figures for things such as what we just talked about, that guaranteed contract. Is that what I hear you saying?
Kind of. I feel like it's a little bit more complicated an issue of that, given the realities of both, the men's season and our season, basically.
And before we let you go, real quick, how you feeling about the World Cup, ladies? You ready?
We are.
Oh, we are ready, yes.
Very much.
As much as we are enjoying talking to you guys about this lawsuit, the World Cup is very important for us, and we've been preparing for that for 3 years now. So we're excited to get on that stage again.
We do actually prefer the field over the courtroom.
Well, you certainly shine. Thank you so much. Go USA.
We got you guys. Thanks, Alex. Thank you, Megan.